Flat water pad laps are one of the hardest things with foiling, in my opinion. There's no swell to generate your speed. You have to do it all by yourself. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Ian. I'm 36 years old. I'm a full-time school teacher, which is why I love putting these videos together. I've been foiling for over 7 years in all types of disciplines, from dock starting to kite foiling to wing foiling to downwind foiling. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you 4 tips that you can use if you're a beginner getting into flat water pad laps or downwind foiling. This isn't a technical breakdown of the skills. I could spend 2 hours doing that. This is just 4 tips that hopefully you can apply to help get the practice in. So let's get into them. So at the moment in this video, I'm just getting myself stable, get myself ready to do the paddle up. But tip number 1 is to get your blade fully in the water. You want to be paddling with the blade all the way underneath the surface so that you're catching water, not half water, half air. So you want the blade right in the water. As you can see in the video here, I'm taking a few strokes just to get the blade in. Right. That then leads on. I'm going to pause it. Tip number 2. As you can see here, I'm getting the board moving. I want the board to have some forward movement, forward momentum first before I even try and get on foil. I'm not even going to think about getting on foil until the board is getting forward movement. So that is tip number 2. You must do that. Don't worry about foil just yet. Get it moving. Right, so tip number 3, I'm not going to lie, it's a really tricky one. If you're dock starting or pump foiling, I'd be saying here right now, what you need to do is to unweight the foil. But with downwind foiling and flat water paddle ups, it's a bit trickier than that. You need to unweight the foil, absolutely, but you need to do it at exactly the right time with your paddle stroke. So we'll have a quick look at this. So I'm going to be taking some strokes in a minute. And what is going to start happening is I'm going to try and unweight the board. And the board is going to be bouncing and skipping off the surface of the water. That is normal. That is what we're aiming for. We want the board to skip up to help unweight the foil. So as you can see here, I'm going to be taking a paddle stroke there. Paddle fully engaged, like we said. And at that point, the board is bouncing off of the water. Okay, you can see it just here. The board is bouncing up. But to add another element in now, I take the stroke, the board bounces up, and then I'm unweighting. If you look at my heels, they're not even on the board whatsoever. Okay, so we're going to break it down in a bit more detail. So I take the stroke, that's where I'm getting my power. The board is coming down and bouncing up here. I'm using the power from the stroke, and at that time, I'm now unweighting. Okay, so the way I like to think of it is I take the stroke there, the board skips off the water, I use the power, and then I unweight. And again, another example here, you can see my feet are barely even touching the board right now. That is unweighting, that's lifting the foil up. So again, you can see it lifting. Take the stroke, the board comes down and bounces up, it skips up. I use the power from the stroke, and then my feet come up, and I'm unweighting. And that is allowing the board to pop up out the water. Okay, so it's seeing a bit quicker there. You can see it's all happening. It's skipping. I'm using the power and I'm unweighting, and that is allowing the board to come off of the water and engage the foil there. Tip number 4 then. It happens confusingly at the same time as tip number 3, and that is you want to increase your paddle cadence. So as you can see on this, we've done all of tip number 3. However, at the same time, I'm also increasing my paddle cadence. It means I'm taking more strokes, okay? That is getting me that quick acceleration through the water. So tip 3 and tip 4, as you can see, are going on simultaneously. I'm unweighting the foil, make it skip off the water, and I'm also increasing my paddle cadence. And those things combined is going to help you to try and get onto foil. So just a quick run through again. Okay, once you're ready, once you're stable, you want to be getting the paddle when you take a stroke all the way in the water. That's the first thing. Second thing, you want to get the board moving with forward speed. It's going to help you get it through. And once that happens, you're taking a good, powerful stroke. You're going to be allowing the board to skip off the water and unweighting. And that series for tip 3 happens over and again, okay, until the board starts to activate. And then at the same time as that, you are then taking more strokes to increase your paddle cadence. If you're stuck on any part of the flat water paddle up technique, then drop me a comment in the box below to let me know what part you're stuck on, or if you've got a question, more than happy to help out, and I read every single comment and respond to every single comment as well. In addition, I've also got some free resources about flat water paddle up technique as well as dock starting. Check the link in the description below. I also offer personalized one-to-one video analysis. So if you'd like to go deeper on your technique, then check out the link in the description below. If you want to hear more from me, then check out the video on the screen right now. And once again, thank you very much for watching. Take care.